My 14-year-old wants to live with her dad. What the fuck do I do? My kids are 7, a boy, 11, and 14 girls.
Hey, welcome to the WTF Divorce Podcast. My name is Rob Roseman. On this show, we talk about everything divorce, whether you're thinking about divorce, going through it, or figuring out life after. Divorce, co-parenting, dating. We cover it all and break it into short clips so it's easy for you to find and learn from. If you want more help, head on over to WTFdivorce.com. Thanks for listening. On to today's show. Real quick, let's talk about today's sponsor. The WTF Divorce Podcast is sponsored by OurFamilyWizard. If you're a co-parent, you know how frustrating it can be constantly going back and forth with your ex about the kids, schedule, and expenses. OurFamilyWizard helps keep everything organized in one app, making co-parenting communication less stressful. More about how OurFamilyWizard can help in a few minutes, but now, on to today's show.
Yep, it happens, right? I mean, it happens, and it's really, really hard. And so I think you start by being calming down, taking that pause that you've been talking about, that Rob was talking about, and that's come up with everything else, taking that pause, and then opening yourself up to the conversation, to discussion. You don't immediately want to shut this idea down. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know why she wants to do it. You don't know anything really about the situation until you talk to her about it calmly, rationally. Get her information. Why does she want to live there? What's going on? Is there something going on in your relationship? Is this a threat? Is this real? Really dive into it with her. And if you don't have a contentious relationship with your ex, bring them in too, because this is something that everyone should hear from her together. This is a family decision, if it can be. So try not to freak out and start with conversation. It's a really, really important piece. And then if it's really going to happen, if it's what she wants, try it. I know that sounds terrible, but try it. And try it with caveats like, you have to have certain lines of communication, times you're going to talk, or things you're going to get together for. Put things into place so that you are still an important part of her life for that trial period. Maybe have a therapist that she goes to or you go to together. But yeah, keep an open mind as you venture to this spot. It happens a lot, especially in the teenage years, and sometimes it's really just a threat, or it just is a conversation that she needs to have with you about something that's going on that's upsetting her. You don't know until you ask. That's what I would say with this one, at least in the beginning.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Tamar, but it always feels like in scenarios like this, particularly in custody, that there's always a fear that you could lose your child entirely, not necessarily through a custody rearrangement, right? Like you never get to see them. But just that, divorce, there's a fear that like this is a permanent change for your child, and that, there's a much bigger loss on the horizon.
Right.
So, dealing with that fear too personally, I think is also really important.
I would totally agree. And honestly, I would say, I'm not a scientist and I haven't done all the research on this, but generally speaking, from what I've seen, it's not a permanent change. Even if it does happen, it's usually a temporary situation, and there's something going on that the child is looking to address there. Maybe they haven't had a deep connection with their other parent and they're very curious, or maybe there's just something going on in their life that makes them feel like that's the place where they want to be for right now, but it's really just for right now.
The WTF Divorce Podcast is sponsored by OurFamilyWizard. If you're a co-parent, you know how frustrating it can be constantly going back and forth with your ex about the kids, schedules, and expenses. OurFamilyWizard helps keep everything organized in one app, making co-parenting communication less stressful. Here's Rachel to explain how OurFamilyWizard changed her co-parenting life.
Right after I filed for divorce, the texts and all the communicating with my ex became super stressful. Every text, every call, every time I scheduled an appointment, it was just emotionally draining. My attorney suggested using the OurFamilyWizard app, and it completely saved my sanity. The constant texting stopped because all the communication moved into the app, so I could check it when I was ready to respond. And for me, I really actually needed OFW. It gave my lawyer some clear documentation of, let's say, ridiculous disputes, and I didn't have to email him hundreds of screenshots anymore. He could see it in the app. I tell all my friends also struggling with co-parenting about OFW, And everyone who tries it says it's a game changer for them too.
Join more than 1 million parents and family law professionals who trust Our Family Wizard. Go to www.OurFamilyWizard.com to get started today. That's www.OurFamilyWizard.com.